What Jim Bob has done at this age is something no one could have imagined he would do. He takes away the woman he loves from his house. Not only that, he ran away and went to another country and they got married. But why did he get married again at this age? Let's tell everything through today's video, but before that, I want to tell you one more thing. Jill Duggar is stepping into a new phase of her life, embracing her individuality and shedding the rigid expectations that once defined her. While her younger sister, Jinger Duggar, has long been known as the family fashionista, Jill seems to be carving out her own path in the world of personal style and self-expression. Once known for her conservative, modest appearance, heavily influenced by her upbringing in the Duggar household, Jill is now stepping out of her comfort zone and redefining who she is, not just in appearance, but in her life as a whole. Though Jinger may have set the pace with her trendy and chic looks, Jill has been quietly making moves of her own for years. She was one of the first Duggar daughters to pierce her nose, a bold statement of independence in a family that had long adhered to strict rules about modesty and personal appearance. Jill has also embraced a bohemian vibe, donning flowy dresses and patterned outfits that contrast with the plain, more conservative clothing she wore growing up. Her evolving style has even included wearing shorts, something that has become increasingly common among the Duggar daughters, though they usually opt for lengths that are considered modest by the family's standards. However, in a recent social media post, Jill pushed the boundaries further, choosing to wear shorts that hit above the knee, a bold choice for someone raised in a household where skirts and long dresses were the norm. The Counting On star shared her fall-inspired outfit with her followers, revealing that the shorts were a gift from a friend, and likely not something she would have chosen herself in the past. This moment reflects how much Jill has changed over the years, shedding not only the clothing rules she grew up with, but also the emotional and psychological weight of her upbringing. Jill has always been known as one of the more outspoken Duggar siblings, unafraid to share her thoughts and experiences, even if they go against the carefully curated image her family once presented to the world. Her openness has sometimes come at a cost, particularly when it comes to her relationships with her parents and some of her siblings. Much of this tension stems from her decision to speak out about her upbringing in the Duggar household, particularly in her memoir, Counting the Cost, co-authored with her husband, Derek Dillard. In her book, Jill doesn't hold back in discussing the complexities of growing up in the Duggar family. She reveals the immense pressure she felt as the first daughter to get married, detailing how her father, Jim Bob Duggar, imposed expectations on her and questioned her decisions regarding her life and family. One particularly painful chapter of her life involved the public scrutiny of her fertility. Jill has been open about her struggles to conceive, particularly after the traumatic birth of her second son, Samuel, which left her emotionally and physically scarred. Despite the joy of motherhood, she faced ongoing pressure to have more children, a sentiment echoed by her family's belief in having large families. This year has been especially challenging for Jill and her husband, Derek, as they continue to grieve the loss of their daughter, Isla Marie Dillard, who passed away in utero. Isla was the couple's first daughter, and her loss, which occurred 6 months ago, has weighed heavily on Jill. The pain of losing Isla is something Jill has spoken about with raw honesty, sharing intimate details of her experience on social media. She has posted photos of herself and Derek spending precious moments with their daughter, including parts of her funeral and burial. The images, while heartbreaking, serve as a reminder of the love Jill and Derek have for Isla and the deep emotional connection they will always carry. In the aftermath of Isla's death, Jill has found solace in keeping busy with new projects and throwing herself into her work. It's clear that she is using her grief as a source of strength, determined to honor her daughter's memory by speaking openly about her loss and ensuring that Isla is never forgotten. Jill's vulnerability has resonated with many of her followers, particularly those who have experienced similar losses. By sharing her story, she has created a space where others can feel less alone in their grief. Jill's journey of self-discovery, healing, and growth extends beyond her personal style and family life. As a mother of 3 boys, Israel, Samuel, and Frederick, She is navigating parenthood on her own terms, raising her children in a way that reflects her evolving values and beliefs. She and Derek have made significant changes in how they approach their family life, moving away from the ultra-conservative lifestyle they were once immersed in. Jill has found a new sense of freedom in breaking away from the rigid rules she grew up with, allowing her children to explore life in a more open and flexible environment. Jill's willingness to speak out and take control of her own narrative has not come without consequences. In the past, her candor about her experiences has led to estrangement from some of her siblings and tension with her parents, particularly Jim Bob. However, Jill has made it clear that her goal is not to cause division, but rather to live authentically and to share her truth. Her memoir and candid interviews have shed light on the more difficult aspects of growing up in the Duggar household, including the expectations placed on her as the first daughter to marry, the challenges of being in the public eye, and the struggles she and Derek faced behind the scenes of Counting On. As she continues to carve out her own identity, Jill's journey has been showcased in Shiny Happy People, Duggar Family Secrets, the Amazon Prime Video docuseries that dives deep into the controversial history of the Duggar family and their involvement with the Institute in Basic Life Principles, IBLP. The series has given viewers a glimpse into the darker side of the Duggars' ultra-conservative lifestyle and has provided a platform for Jill to share her perspective. Through her participation in the series, Jill is helping to pull back the curtain on the reality behind the family's public image. While Jill Duggar's evolution may have begun with something as simple as wearing shorts or getting a nose piercing, it's clear that these outward changes reflect a much deeper transformation. She is no longer confined by the modesty rules that once defined her life, and she is embracing her individuality, not just in her appearance, but in every aspect of her life. From speaking out about her family secrets to grieving the loss of her daughter, Jill is living her truth, and in doing so, she's helping others find the courage to do the same. Josh Duggar is the reason his family lost their shows on TLC, 19 Kids and Counting On. His downfall began with shocking allegations of molesting his sisters, followed by the Ashley Madison affair scandal, and eventually, the child sexual abuse material, CSM, charges that sealed his fate. After a highly publicized trial, Josh was sentenced to just over 12 years in prison, a verdict that left Duggar News followers shaken and horrified. Thanks for watching. The child sexual abuse material, CSM, charges that sealed his fate. After a highly publicized trial, Josh was sentenced to just over 12 years in prison, a verdict that left Duggar News followers shaken and horrified.